the news that there have been lots of new rules and new changes regarding UK visas and immigration updates, including announcing that care workers and students are no longer allowed to bring dependents. The new UK government has further made an analysis, and they've published this August 2024, which was just a few days back at the time of making this video. So they've published these numbers to judge if these 5-point plans and the various measures they've put in place have been actually helpful in cutting down illegal migration. So join me in this video and let's uncover the details. As published by the BBC News, which is one of the official news channels in the United Kingdom, they've actually found out that there is a big fall in migrant visa application after those new changes were introduced. Before I go further into this, if you are seeing my face for the very first time, I'm Victory in Kuka. On this YouTube channel, I share lots about immigration updates you need to know about, visa sponsorship job that can help you relocate overseas, as well as scholarships that allows you to school overseas with ease. If these are content that interest you or you know anyone it will benefit, smash the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell, because that's how you get notified when a new video is uploaded, like job opportunities, so you are one of the first to maximize this. Please like this video because you're certainly going to get value from it, and when you do, don't forget to share it to your family and friends. Now, as you can see on the screen, as published by BBC, they are saying that the number of overseas workers, students and their families applying for visas to come to the UK has fallen by a third over the last 12 months. Remember that the government, the Conservatives, when they were in power, they came out to say that the net migrations is really reaching numbers they cannot control, and it has effect on their economy, which we all agree. So they brought out the 5-point plan, introducing the salary threshold for a skilled worker visa, as well as changes to the student visas and regarding bringing dependents and the likes. As a result of all this that was put in place, visa applications really dropped. Now, is it a good thing for the UK economy or not? Let's continue to find out. So the sharp decline follows rule changes introduced by the Conservative government, which I've mentioned earlier. So I'm just going to scroll down. Say provisional figures from the Home Office suggest that the number of migrants and their families applying for the visa fell around 141,000 in July 2023 to 91,000 just last month. So within the space of 1 year, the difference is around 50,000 visa applications, which is actually a lot, because most persons that were coming were from care workers, dependent families and the likes. Reading further, they are saying that there was a particularly big drop in numbers applying for health and care worker visas, which dropped by 80%. That was a very significant amount to 2009. So the Home Office said that it would ensure we train up the homegrown workforce and address the shortage of skills. Remember on that video I made about the new Prime Minister of the UK and their plans, I mentioned that one of the core things that they want to focus on is building the workforce in UK to be robust. First, the British citizens, they want to prioritize them, which is very responsible of a country actually, because it's their own nation. So they want to give them some opportunities to pick up the job, to train them, as well as many who are currently in the UK before they look outside. So that's what they are still emphasizing, that they are all doing all this so that they can train their homegrown workforce and address the shortage of skills. This is going to be beneficial to even those who are, let's say, of African descent, of Indian descent, who are already in the UK. Perhaps you have a British passport or you have your indefinite. This will still be very beneficial, because some of the programs that we introduced to train them, you'll be qualified for them. So a spokesman for the department said that the immigration brought many benefits to the UK, but it must be controlled and delivered through a fair system, which I agree about. I really love this article because it's detailed, so I'm just going to read it through. Said that Nadra Ahmed, executive co-chairman of the National Care Association, said that the sector has started to see some staff return home or move to countries with less hostile environment around immigration. So speaking to the BBC radio, she said, if we had a domestic workforce willing to work, then we shouldn't need these international recruits. Really? She added, it would take a few years to build a domestic workforce and want the vacancy in the sector to rise to unsustainable levels. There are other employers that really said that. There was one I read. The article really made me emotional, because they came out to say that they almost shut down their care home after COVID. until this Brexit thing that allowed them to recruit from overseas. So with recruiting from overseas, they've had, I think some of their strongest career were from Asians. So these ones have really helped to improve not just the quality of life of the elderly ones in Britain, as well as financially it has contributed to the owner of the company and the family, which are Britons. And they really wrote detailedly. When I read the article, I was so pleased. So it's everywhere. Even somebody was like, landlords are not happy because they get lots of money. Unlike before, you are looking for who to take house rent. Many things have increased because there are people to take up such jobs. There are people to as well as pay their house rent and the likes from what they are earning. So it's really had a positive impact on migration in general. So different bodies have really been contributing to why these figures are so. A migratory observer who he made an observation that he feels that one of the reasons for this decline is because of the disparity of the exchange rate within the naira and pounds. For instance, most of the visa applications came from Nigeria and India. Most Nigerians have really withdrawn their visa applications. Some persons have observed that it's due to the disparity between naira and pounds. You know what it is now? It's 2,000 and above. So it keeps increasing every day, and converting that to pay for IHS, which IHS fee have increased, was getting too much. So these were one of the reasons from their research. They also said that another reason is due to the new rules introduced by the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak in a bid to reduce immigration levels. Judging from statistics, in 2020, legal net migration surged to 764,000, but it fell by 10% the following year. So the Office for National Statistics said it was too early to say that this is the start of a downward trend as at then. Now, digging back into history, it was actually in 2021, after the Brexit and following COVID, they lost a lot of workers. So they relaxed recruitment to allow international skilled workers to come and contribute their best to improve the quality of life, as well as to contribute to the economy and keep it going. So 2 years later, the Home Secretary, James Cleverly, that was the previous Home Secretary of the UK, he announced that the government will ban care workers from bringing family and their dependents to the UK as part of efforts to reduce net migration numbers. That came after a previously announced ban on most overseas students bringing dependents with them. So the both stopping students and stopping care workers was what really dropped the numbers. And prior to them, the visas for dependents really rose. That's why one of their major agenda was cutting down on that dependent visa. All these are just to give you a perspective so that you know why some of changes. The essence of this thing is they are trying to evaluate if the laws on ground is doing a good thing in cutting net migration. Otherwise, if they feel it's not, they will want to implement more laws in order to further reduce both legal and illegal migration. So please just continue watching, because at the end there was an evaluation and they made a recommendation of what they feel this thing is all about. So the government also increased the minimum salary threshold. That was done by the previous government. From this analysis, the Labour Party, the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, has agreed that they are going to leave the salary threshold at £29,000 for now, until a further review by the Migratory Advisory Committee, because they asked them to really review to see if there is need for them to really increase it to 34, or if there is an impact with this 29, if it has helped at all in reducing migration. So after that, she's saying for now it still remains at £29,000 per annum. That's the minimum salary threshold you should earn before you get a skilled worker job if you are not under the required shortage occupation list or immigration salary list. So you need to earn that before you're able to get a job in UK as it is currently. So from all these, they've come to a conclusion that the laws on ground right now is helping to cause down net migration because the numbers are really significant. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. If there is any more changes, I'll be more than happy to update you so that you can stay informed and plan ahead. If you got value from this video, like this video, share to as many you feel is going to be of help too. I'll see you all in my next video. For the meantime, stay blessed. Bye.